Hello! Now in the video today I'm going to be talking to you about onions. Some that are small, some are big, and some are determined to be giants. I'm Gang Gang, welcome to the channel Gang Gang and Peanut, two peas in a pod. So today is Onion Day and the Giant Onion Growing Challenge continues. So in the video today I will be potting on the giant onions and showing you the progress of them so far. I'll also be comparing the progress of the onions that I'm growing that are no heat, no light, unlike the giant onions which have been grown on heat and under grow lights. And I've got one or two other onions which I may as well show you whilst we're making the video, just so you know where I am. Anyway, I think the first thing to do is get some compost, get some pots, and pop these onions on. So let's start with the compost mix that I'm using, and it is mixed 2 parts sifted general purpose compost, 1 part John Innes number 2. And if you can see the John Innes there, I quite like the John Innes. It has quite a sandy texture to it, and I think that will aid with some of the drainage. And I believe there are also some additives that the manufacturer puts in themselves. I will also be adding to that some worm casting from my wormery. I'll be sprinkling some charge, and I'll be adding vermiculite to help to hold on to some of the nutrients, and some perlite which will help with aeration. So I'm going to mix that all up, and when I've done that we'll have a look what I do next. So the next thing I need is a pot, and these are the ones I'm going to be using. And these are, I believe, let's have a measure, they're 14 centimetres across the top, and I believe they hold 1 litre. And I've got these ready. So I'm going to fill these with the compost mix that I've just made up, and then we'll take a look at the onions. So let's take a look at the onions I have. And there they are, and they're not doing too bad. As you can see, there are some yellow sticky fly traps because I had a bit of a problem with the fungus gnats, but these worked. Look at that, that's caught a lot of them, and the problem is now under control. In fact, I think it's actually eradicated it. Let me take these away. And you have to be careful with these because I don't want them sticking to the onion itself, to the leaves or to the flags. Let me remove them because they're only going to get in the way when we start potting these onions on. There. Now I can measure these onions. Let me see. I think that one there, or that one there, that's probably the tallest of them. Let's see what that is. That is in inches, it's 29 inches, 74 centimetres give or take. And as you can see, some of them are looking a little bit ragged. A few of the leaves have died off, a few are becoming yellow on the tips, and some of them are starting to bend over. But I'm going to tidy them up today, and I'm going to pop them on and get them going again. Yep, excellent. So let's take a look at this one. If I can get it to turn up, we can see that the roots are appearing out of the bottom of the pot, so I think it is time to move these on now. And if I can get him out of there, oh, we can take it. Oh, there we go, he's popped out. Let's have a look at the roots on this. And there are quite a few strong, healthy, white, quite thick roots on there, and I'm quite pleased with that. So I'm going to put this guy into a bigger pot where hopefully he'll be a lot happier. Let's just pop that there for a moment. And I'll fill one of his pots with some compost and pop him in. So there's the pot he's going to go in. There's the pot that he was in before. Add some compost to the bottom. I'll pop this in. And then I'll fill it up all around the sides. And hopefully, when it's full up, I'll take this in a pot, the pot that he was sitting in before. I'll take that out of the middle, and it should leave a space to drop that giant onion straight in. If I take that out, that should leave the space where the onion's going to sit in. Brilliant! So, there's the new pot with the compost in, and I'm going to add some mycorrhizal fungi in what was a handy sifter. I think it was for sugar, I'm not sure, but I'm using that for the mycorrhizal fungi, so I should give it a generous amount round there. And I shall take the plant, and I'm also going to tease these roots apart a little bit, just to loosen the soil up around them. There we are. I don't want to mess around with them too much. I'll add some mycorrhizal on there. Let me turn that around. A little on there, and a little on there. And hopefully he's going to go gently in there and sit just like that. Lovely. So there's his new home, and hopefully he'll start sending some more roots down, searching into the new compost with the new nutrients, and we'll see some more leaves or flags starting to grow. Hang on a moment. That one's coming away. Just clip those back on. Now some of these leaves are yellowing, so I'm going to remove that. How many are there? How many flags? 1, 2, 3, 4, just 5, and that knackered one. Let me do some more, and we'll have a look when they're all potted up again. Lovely. So there we are. Those are the onions for the Giant Onion Growing Challenge 24-25. There are 6 of them. The one on the end is a bit wonky, but hey, I'm going to keep growing it and see what it does. And to give you an idea of the size of them, there's a pen. So you should be able to gauge that they are at a reasonable size. Now, these were sown on November the 11th. So where are we now? November, December, January, February. They're 4 months on. I'm quite pleased. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to water them from the bottom. So let's water them from the bottom. The water is water from a water butt, and it has been kept inside overnight, and it's at room temperature. And also I've added to this water just a little bit of a liquid seaweed feed, just to give them a little oomph to get them going. And I'll leave them in there soaking until we see the water's come up and the top here starts to look moist. Great. So whilst we are waiting for the water to be absorbed in the compost in these giant onions, let me show you what else I've got in the onion world. Now here are some onion seedlings, and these are called, let me check, a red onion called Brunswick. And these are about 3 weeks old now. And the Brunswick is a new variety to me because, again, this year I'm trying to do new things with regards to growing vegetables at home on the allotment or in the garden. And I'm quite pleased with the progress of those at the moment. I've also got some Bedford Champion in the propagator, and they have only just poked their head up. That's the second sowing I've had to do because the first ones were a no-show. Now I've also got what I called the rejects, and I think that's probably a bit unfair of me to call them the rejects. So from now on they're going to be known as the B team, because they're obviously going to do their best to grow into large onions, and I can eat them. So if they're going to give it a try, I'm going to give it a try. Now the next thing I'm going to do is add to the surface a covering of perlite. And there's two reasons for that. One is I think it will help keep in some moisture, and the other one is that should the fungus gnats decide to return, they may find it a bit difficult to get to the compost to lay their eggs. So let me do that. And if you're handling perlite, be aware it is very dusty. Try not to breathe it in. There. And I'll do the same for all 6. So that's me done with potting on the giant onions, and they will be going back into the grow tent under the lights, where they'll probably sit and growl at me. Now I know that some people sowed their seeds earlier, some a bit later, but wherever you are, keep going. It's all good fun, and you never know, you could win a leather onion as a first prize. Or in my case, I'm hoping that I can win a rosette with a horse, which has got to be better than a horse with a rosette. Anyway, remember that what I do is not necessarily the right way. It's certainly not the only way. It's just my way, and that's what I'm showing you today. So, thank you very much for watching. I'm Gang Gang. This is Gang Gang and Peanuts, 2 peas in a pod, and as ever, until next time, take care. Bye.